Hello students. So today we are learning about political science chapter number 1, the Cold War era. Basically we are learning about the Cold War era because this was the period where the more diplomatic and the economic relations are formed and some of the relations were broken. So basically in this we are learning about the most important country, the Cuba. Basically when the during the Cold War, the Cuba was the most important country and was receiving the diplomatic and the economical power from the USSR, and basically the Soviet Union. Basically from the Soviet Union they are attached with the Soviet Union through their international knots, and because they have the nuclear power at that time, and Cuba has the most recent nuclear power at that time, and they were storing the nuclear power because of their president, Fidel Castro. Basically Fidel Castro was the president at that time when the Cold War was started, and the Cuba was the first country who was attaining the nuclear missiles to their backgrounds, and they have submitted the nuclear missiles in their own lands. Now the US army was very worried about the nuclear war because they don't want the nuclear war in the world, and they were defeating the Cuba in their national territory. And the main important thing about the Cuba is that they have already attained a most massive nuclear power in their own land. So the president at that time of America was John F. Kennedy. Basically John F. Kennedy has played an important and vital role in the making the history of United States of America. Basically if we talk about John F. Kennedy, he has mostly maintained the nuclear parts and the most important technical parts for the country, like for the space and aeronautics. Basically for the space and aeronautics and the missile energy, John F. Kennedy has played a vital role because they have produced a different kind of energies for their country and have focused on naturally the nuclear power and the thermal power. So basically at the time of John F. Kennedy, he didn't want that there will be a nuclear war between the two countries. So the Soviet Union has approaching the Cuba for attaining those nuclear missiles which they have burned up in their land. Now, after the 3 weeks later, John F. Kennedy find a solution to intercept Soviet Union and Cuba. So after that, John F. Kennedy has passed the statement to the military, or basically the US military and the US Army, to intercept the Soviet Union and Cuba, to intercept the nuclear missiles of Cuba on their own lands. And the Cuba missile point, basically the Cuba high missile point, was also known as the Cold War because Cuba has already attained the most nuclear power in their own land and are maintaining the people from the nuclear war and through the nuclear powers. So if we talk about the nuclear war, there will be more tensions between both the countries, like US and Soviet Union. Basically if there will be a Cold War between the two countries, there will be a massive damage to both of the countries in terms of the economics and in terms of the health. So basically if we talk about economics and related to the health of the people, so basically if a nuclear war is started, there will be a massive eruption in both the countries, and they will not be able to deploy those changes. So basically when the US started the Cold War, the USSR, basically USSR is the most important country, or as well as we can say that the most important part of the Cold War that has played a vital role in maintaining the socialism and the communalism. So the USSR is maintaining the communalism and socialism, and but after the Cold War being turned into the nuclear war, they backed up for the nuclear war of the socialism and the communalism. Thank you.